All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a little weekend market outlook that I wanted to do. First off, the quality today, just on my recording and of the sound or anything like that, if it's messed up or a little bit less than what it is usually, I'm on vacation. I'm seeing some immediate family that I only get to see a few times a year, but I still want to send out a stream every single day, Monday through Friday, and I didn't get to do yesterday's because I was traveling. So here we are, and I think there's a ton to look at this weekend that could potentially play out Saturday and going into this week. This week already has been an excellent weekend, or a week, I should say, to swing Bitcoin right after a reclaim above 96.50, price now being able to travel up to 10.9, a nice $1,300 move. If you've missed that, I still think there's going to be a couple fun relationships to track, potentially another nice swing. And then one theme that's going to continue to be relevant is avoiding alts based on Bitcoin strength. So a lot to cover. I'm going to do my best to cover it. Once again, if the video quality or if the audio quality or anything is a little bit less than it is usually, it's because I'm on vacation and I'm doing my best to have this up as a weekend review. All right, let's get into things. Looking at Bitcoin, right, the view for the past 5-7 days, why I wanted to be long, why I think now a lot of people are getting bullish after we've moved $1,000, right? Think about the range for the past 30 days. 96.50 is almost the cheapest it's been. I know we traded below that for a period of 48 or 72 hours, whatever it is. But immediately when we can reclaim that support, it's not always going to follow what happened previously, but this week it did. It worked out very nicely, even quicker than I kind of anticipated it would, right? You look at the previous reclaim we had on the 18th, and now the reclaim that we played this week, right? I've highlighted this in the past 3 or 4 daily updates in the streams, in the emails as well, right? Why I wanted to get long as price is getting above 96.50. As long as we're trading above 96.50, I have to think that's bullish. I have to be looking for upside, and this has been the target, right? Why is this the target? It's the previous swing high, 10.9, twice before we kind of found these new lows. Right? So far, already from Wednesday or Tuesday, whenever you took the trade with me, or just kind of like using these daily videos as your analysis, whatever it might be, a nice 10% swing, a nice $1,300 swing for Bitcoin. And that has worked out nice. But if you're sitting here and wondering, I didn't get long Bitcoin, or I'm still looking for a new swing, or, should I take profits? The way that I'm viewing the Bitcoin market, the way that I'm kind of considering this, on Wednesday, we also looked at an idea of a pattern that has been repeating for a while. And it kind of follows a general structure of this. 1 second while I find it. Let me just make this line a little bit thicker. Ooh, man, this is tough. A little bit tougher now on my computer. All right. So we have this line, right? 10.1 was our resistance this week. That was on Tuesday, Wednesday. We talked about why I think there was a higher chance for a breakout. Right, so we have 10.1 being tested 2 or 3 times in the span of a week. Right? And then Wednesday, what happened, and why I wanted to cover that fractal, and why I think I'm going to get to why it's important today. Right? We had this third test of the exact same level in a very short period of time, something only like 5 or 7 days. And really for the first time in the entire downtrend, right? So here's 10.1. Continually tested 2 or 3 times in the past 5 days. We sell off to new lows. And then immediately after, right, price is already retesting 10.1. It makes me think that the chances we actually do break higher than this are much higher. Right, so now if we zoom out and see how kind of the current price action relates to what happened on Wednesday, right, we're back at 10.8, 10.9. This resistance was tested twice. 1, 2, 1, 2, right? And now price has actually seen enough demand, has actually seen enough follow through that we're back at this 10.8, 10.9 level. So testing this now for the third time in less than a month. And I know it's not as short of a time frame as this, but I think you can see how similar the structures are, how similar the patterns are. And, that I don't think this is all some massive bull trap or some short-lived pump or whatever it might be. You can clearly see that demand is now strong enough to be taking us into levels that were previously resistance, resistance, new lows, resistance, resistance, new lows. We hit this level for a third time in a week, we can break through it. Right now we're hitting this level for the third time in a month, and it does make me think now that the chances of being able to pass through this 10.8, 10.9, right, I think are much higher than on these previous 2 attempts. So I actually do still like being long. I have to respect this as resistance, kind of how I started the stream and how we thought about this Tuesday through Wednesday. Right, this has already been a nice swing. It's been a nice 10% push this week. That was the one trade I wanted to focus on this week, the one idea I wanted to focus on this week, the one theme I wanted to focus on this week. Being long Bitcoin above 96.50, even up to 9,800 if it was sloppy, and hopefully carrying through to 10.9. Right, that has worked. So I still do respect this as a resistance. But at the same time, right, and this is kind of the view on Wednesday and how it carries over today, if we can confirm above this 10.3, 10.4, right, I said the chances are much higher that we actually do make it to 11. I think you can really play this the same way as if we do get above this 10.9, 11, right, this is our resistance back here. So if we do get above this 10.9, 10.11, not 10.9, 10.11, the 10.9 or 11.1, right, if we do get above this level, right, that is kind of the next confirmation that price is actually broken out past these previous swing highs, and we are probably ready to move higher. Where would the next resistance be? Just kind of walking up the range. Next important level, I'm thinking something like 11.8, 11.7. Right? That's just the next swing high up there. So as we stair step up this range, it's going to create, you know, little ranges inside the larger range or the larger structure we're trading in. And that's really how I'm looking at this. So a nice swing on Bitcoin for the week. It's a fluid game of last week. The focus was on EOS and ADA, and I didn't really want to trade Bitcoin, right? Just never gave my condition. This week, condition was met Monday, Tuesday immediately, and you swing it, right? So this is what I'm going to be looking for going into Sunday, going into Monday, right? Is if price starts trading above this 11K, above this 11.1, I do think it's a sign of continuation. I do think that we probably make it to 11.8 and possibly up to 12.9 again. And then once again, we're kind of looking at the same pattern of 1, 2. This would be our third test, right? But I don't want to get way ahead of the chart, right? I'm playing it level to level. I think that's probably the smartest way to think about things when there isn't a clear trend yet. But for everyone that's been with me for the week, hell of a Bitcoin swing. I hope you were able to execute. A lot of fun covering that. The other idea that this led to, right, was wanting to avoid alts or completely stay away from them or close the longs, whatever it might be. Right? And we looked at ADA, we looked at EOS last week, and just the expectation that if Bitcoin did start moving up, right, how would these alts perform? ADA, EOS, Tron, Ripple, right, all probably finding new lows, and it's because Bitcoin is the driver of those moves. It's not a micro thing of ADA had anything different with developers. It's not that buyers or sellers viewed this any differently. It's a macro game of Bitcoin is the driver. All these things are being priced in Bitcoin. So not only is Bitcoin moving up and people would rather be in Bitcoin, right, but it also sucks liquidity out of these pairs. So you can think about it as someone trying to sell ADA. Not only are people selling because they want to be in Bitcoin, but there's also just less buyers and sellers, right? No one is kind of filling those order books. So we are seeing ADA break down. We are seeing EOS break down. We're seeing, I imagine, EOS and Tron continue to break down. And my view on Sunday and going into the week Monday, I just have to respect this trend or this relationship until it changes. I don't really want to try to anticipate it changing or try to play that one point, that one inflection point. I would much rather be on the right side of the trend. And right now, the right side of the trend is not being exposed to alts or being short alts, right? So that's still the view here. I really don't like any alts. I think the only view that I had this week was if there was one to short or what looked the weakest is Tron. It's based on Justin Sun possibly being in trouble with the Chinese government. He's no longer able to promote things. And yeah, so if I'm looking at any type of action on alts, it's really just being hedged. I still think that Tron is the weakest. I probably don't want to be putting on new shorts here, but if anything, just avoiding them while they continue to sell off. I think the only circumstance where alts changes and alts can actually start doing well is if Bitcoin really does respect this resistance, start trending lower, we start, getting back to the 96, we start getting back to the 10.1. I think that's a little bit less likely, but I really think that's the only scenario that leads to alts performing okay. As of right now, right, just to kind of wrap up the thing, if the stream, the outlook, if you tuned out, or I know some people just like the end summary, right? Reclaim. That was this week. That was the trade signal. That was the condition that made me want to be long. Right? We covered this for multiple days in a row on why Bitcoin's strength would be good above 96.50. You want to be long as 96.50 is holding. Right? That turned out to be a hell of a swing. In terms of alts, right, the only other idea was avoid alts, as the expectation is Bitcoin moving up is going to hurt those alts. The only thing that really changes that is if Bitcoin falls off. Now that we're at resistance, I'm not going to open up new longs right at resistance. I think this is probably the strongest resistance we've had for the past $1,000, right? But I do view it as in the exact same way of price closing above 10.1 to 10.3, and that being important. I do once again now think 11.1 or 11K is kind of nearly the same situation as here, right? If we start closing above this area, I do think the chances are high that we actually do continue through and make it to 11.8. But for right now, I'm viewing this as resistance, a really nice swing for the week. It was a lot of fun trading it with you guys, covering it with you guys. Alts are still short. Alts are still very weak. Until that changes, I want to respect the Bitcoin trend above here. Like I said, more confidence we can move up. Until then, I think this is a very good take profit spot, right? Maybe this could be a retest area. And that's kind of how I'm thinking about price going into the week. Once again, I'm doing my best just to get the stream out on the weekend, a nice little weekend review. That's all I got. I will be back in my office on Monday morning, first thing. So the streams will resume to normal. I'll be back on camera. I imagine my video quality, audio quality, all that will improve greatly. And we'll be looking at a new 1 or 2 themes for the week, right? Will Bitcoin be along again? Will it kind of be a fading take profit scenario for Bitcoin? If Bitcoin fades off, will that lead to a ton of opportunities to swing alts? Different things like that. But for right now, I think you guys can see it. Last week, there was only 2 ideas I wanted to cover, ADA and EOS. They both turned out to be nice 10% swings. Bitcoin this week, it was just kind of the expectation that if Bitcoin moves up, I imagine alts get hurt, avoid alts, and be long Bitcoin, right? And that's worked out for nice 10 or 11% for the week. So really focusing on just the key high time frame, high conviction ideas, helping you be on the right side of the trend, hopefully hoping you capture some of these moves and continue to focus on moving slow, capturing the larger moves, and managing risk as well. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Enjoy it. Enjoy the good weather. I am going to go spend some time with family, and I will see you guys Monday morning first thing. All right? Take it easy, guys, and welcome all new subscribers, new team members to the group. Happy to have you. Wish I could be working this weekend. I really do. But I will see you guys Monday morning. All right? Peace.